Well, hello, friends. How are you? Thought I would take a moment to hop on today since I'm here in my office and talk to you guys about Elle of the Ball. And yes, we're closer than ever to uploading her and just being done with it all. Elle of the Ball has been quite a journey for me. Ugh, what a day. I've been here since 9:30 a.m. down in this office working on the approving edits and reviewing, interviewing people for looking for a PA. I just haven't found one I really truly vibe and gel with yet, but we're getting there. And everything in life, ladies and gentlemen, is a step by step story. But let's get to Elle of the Ball. I have been writing this story since 2017. I started writing the outline for Illival. I'm a panzer, total panzer. I can't sit and plot. I have to write because I'm writing about live, actual events and live events. Notes are not going to do me a bit of freaking good there. But that said, 2018 we started writing the book, and that's the year that the cover creator she created the cover for Elle the Ball, and I wanted elegant, simplistic, but powerful. She delivered the goods. Love it. We've been writing this short story novel since, oh dear God, we've written it and rewritten it and rewritten it and rewritten it until I felt it was a very plausible, believable story. Because we couldn't put every for security reasons we couldn't put everything in Ellen's ball. We had to be very careful there. That said, we have permission from everybody because they knew I was like, I'm going to write and tell this story. But that said, we've had to rewrite and rewrite and rewrite until I felt the storyline gelled. Because I had two different editors edit Hell of the Ball, or three actually. And I really liked Lily's version, her editing version of it, until we reached a certain point where there was a conflict of interest from a conviction and moral perspective. These are books, not real life. Well, they are real life, but it's not a thesis. So there you go. And it's supposedly, allegedly fiction meets real life, etc. But there you go. But finally, we've come up with three plot twists that will work in a short story novel. And I'm so happy because I'm so over this. With all the challenges that I'm having with, my illnesses, my son, other craziness, other folks' craziness, it's like, oh my God. The world is spinning off its axis. But what better time to write stories that help, I don't know, help readers to get away into a world that world of, love, espionage. Um, what's another term? Craziness, drama, suspense, and thrilling action, all in a short story novel. This there's a there is a great deal of writing and rewriting that goes into short story novels, because with a novel you can sort of stretch it out, but with short story novels you have to be careful. You have to give it up front, or it's a wrap. And the ending, we had to nail the ending and the epilogue. I wasn't happy. I said on this story, actually, Elle the Ball was actually ready in, I believe, April or May. I wouldn't do it. Mm-mm. Because the editors and I were having knockdown, drag out brawls over certain issues and certain parts of the book. And I'm the writer. I own this. Like it or not. I ain't changing shit. Deal with it. Deal with it. It's my thing. And if you can't, then I just have to move on. Um, some critiques were gut wrenching. They were absolutely gut wrenching and bitter. Uh, and I took it to heart. I really took it to heart. I thought, this is pretty raw. But after careful and closer scrutiny, it has made me a better person, a better writer. Absolutely stronger from a literary perspective and a psychological perspective. I'm going to put in my books what I want to put in my books, like it or not. I understand how you feel. I get how you feel. I understand that you own your feelings, and I'm going to own mine. But I ain't changing shit. It stays as it is. Deal with it. End of discussion. And that's how I feel about it. And I'm not changing. I'm not changing for anybody. And here I have, excuse me, a million notes. And plus, last week I hit a milestone, ladies and gentlemen. I turned 60. So I know hardly any wrinkles, which I feel I have a million of them with everything I've been through. The hairs are a great giveaway, but I don't care. Grace and style now is pretty post home. But that said, you guys are really going to enjoy Elle the Ball. And the reason we call it Elle the Ball, and the Mistress Elle Chronicles came to life in my 2017 outline, but it really came to life once we put the cover and the direction we wanted to go with the story in 2018. So the Chronicles have been around for quite some time. And instead of 7, I believe I will most likely do. I'm not making a full commitment to 13 books in those chronicles that will be powerful and riveting beyond words. And I have enough stored data and writes and rewrites and notes. I'm never without notes. My notes are very profound. This will give you an idea. This is so ratty tatty. I believe I've had this since 2018, 2019. Yeah, it's full. Ooh, it is full. Uh, this is my go-to, where I scribble my thoughts. Also, this is my holy grail of notes, guys. I put 1,000 notes, and this will give you an idea of my language, so you'll know that I don't need to take anything from anybody else's body of work, and I won't do that. Sorry. I will not do that under any circumstance, because that's not how I roll or vibe. That's not my writing vibe. For me, romantic suspense, romantic adventure, or thrillers and espionage are my absolute writing wheelhouse. I love writing in that genre because I'm a curious person by nature. But that said, I want you guys to listen to this. And this is just a note. The long pursuit of pleasure brought about wondrous pursuits of bliss, but that bliss can never be obedient. It it's too much of a free spirit. The walk through the defining guest of the brutal coldness are insolent from outside the silos of life. Oh, sorry about that. Will God take pity upon the impulses of our wanting and aching spirits? Those are the type of notes I take. And I write from there. Because I'm a very passionate person, a very deep thinking person. But I write about infidelity for reasons I really don't want to delve too deep into because it's a very controversial issue I'm finding out. But that said, it is what it is. But I write about why, good, bad, or indifferent, whether you agree with infidelity or not, I delve the readers, I plunge you so deep into the darkest, most hurt, hurting, hurtful parts of the character psyche. Because when I'm giving you that point of view, I write from the purview of like I always say, sliding dichotomies, because the point of view slide between the protagonist and antagonist are going, and especially when you have alpha females and alpha males concerned, you're literally, I'm going to push to take the reader off the scales. We will cross the psychological and the literary Rubicon. It's not going to be the norm. I want to bust up the normal ideologies that most people have and get to the root and truth and the motivation behind the action and the thoughts and how do I say, the intimate thoughts of the character and bring that into a different light. Definitely write about PTSD and how I love, because there's an extreme connection between trauma, PTSD, and a person's actions, so, and their ideologies of love, life, and etc. Which brings about a more dynamic read, but a more factual read, and a read that's grounded in truth. Plus, I also will always strive, especially having been in the military and a veteran, I will always get as close to the correct dialogue and military dialect, so to speak, as possible. I will not, you know, even though I mentioned blades in, the Spanish blade and the Scottish blade and the Irish blades and Elle, I still keep it real because most soldiers and spies, especially soldiers, do not use blades too often. We'll use more like a jagged edge hunting knife or more of a military style type knife for protection and as a weapon, etc., etc. So I'm very careful of that, but there's a reason why I put the blades in there, and I'm sorry I can't give away that particular spoiler, but readers will find out why. And also, the verbiage matches the storyline. any type of, I'm total military, again, military romance, romantic suspense, romantic thriller. That dialogue is going to be on point, and it's going to be in the lingo that we use in the military. I do not stray in these, you know, I don't know, crazy terminology that do not match. That doesn't match what a military person would do. And I've read too many reviews where veterans and soldiers have chimed in and actually said that doesn't make any type of sense. And we're our community, they will come with it with the criticism if they feel it's not right. So I had to take my time and go back and make sure I got the nomenclatures and everything right. I can write espionage and write intel because I know it. I've seen it up close and personal. I worked post level. I worked post level as young, very young, E3 at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, which is the home of the 101st, what we call the Screaming Chicken, or you know it as the 101st Airborne. You got 5th Group, 5th Special Forces coming out of there. I mean, come on the training, it's a training area. One of the training areas is called Bastogne. Then you have Calais. Then you got your toe and earth. So, and that's where I work. I work range control. Range control was post level. I was handpicked. They pulled me out of I call it the repair room, basically, to the office. And I had to go to training. You wouldn't believe, and that was back when we were working with DB 3 and 4, database 3 and 4, et cetera, et cetera. So the basics. And you only had 2 weeks to learn that stuff. So I know what I'm talking about, and I get it. And that's why I say this is my wheelhouse. This genre, this literary genre is my wheelhouse because I know it and lived it and can write it. And can write it from a perspective because I had to deal with a lot of brass. I had to deal with brass. I dealt with so much brass. If you put them all together, they could actually, you'd hear the Star Spangled Banner. It was nuts. Plus, I had to schedule for the reserve, who took precedent over everybody else. You had to get them trained first. So imagine that, all that responsibility in the hands of an E3 who did her job very well. So but I love this genre. I love writing short story novels. It helps me to stay focused, redirects my mind from all the pain and everything I'm going through. It is what I like to say, safe space. My mental and emotional safe space, so to speak. And writing helps with the brain fog because it is getting terrible by the day. And that's because the VA has been so neglectful. I've never seen anything like this, guys. And I'm considered one of the lucky ones. Imagine that. But, excuse me, that said, guys, I'm sorry. I'm drinking this ginger ale because my tummy is not feeling well today. Mm. Sorry about that sound. That's the train. I'm in my office and the door is open because it's just too beautiful a day not to see the changing of the colors of the leaves there. Ladies and gentlemen, the leaves are red and yellow and brown and green. It's just stunning. And I have to keep an eye on my dogs to make sure that no copperhead is slithering their way up in here. But that said, Elle the Ball, Lust, Love, and Mayhem, ladies and gentlemen, will be available soon, I promise, for pre-sale. And I don't normally pre-sell, but I have to do it with this particular book. bottom line. And with Elle's story, with Elle the Ball, Elle's story goes from Elle the Ball to the Iron Gazelle to the Iron Magnolia. All within the Mistress Elle Chronicles. So we have quite the agenda, but we're going to get it done because I have the right editing team in place. You know, we're okay. We're not perfect. You're not reading nonfiction books. You're not reading political books, even though we get a little political here and there. These are not theses, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a college thesis. These are fiction novels. And we're trying to bring you the best of the best. No, I take that back. We will bring you the best of the best because the writing is boom, 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 period. And to add to that, if you're curious about Elle the Ball, if it piques your interest, the prologue and first chapter is available. I do electronic reads because of my brain fog. I do not read myself because I will go into vertigo in a heartbeat. Trying to, I can't. It's too much. If you notice my eyes, all this puffiness and everything here, I cannot do it. Unfortunately, um, I mean, I'm on one of the most powerful. I have fibromyalgia. I don't know if most people know. If you're new to the group or my group or pages, you probably won't know that. But I have fibromyalgia. Most likely after my last appointment with the knee doctor, both my knees are bone on bone. Imagine that. And rheumatoid arthritis. And I have my breathing is terrible these days. At night, it's a nightmare. So that's why my lives here, my clips on YouTube are so sporadic. And in between, there's just some days when I just can't do it. I don't have the strength to do it. But thank God that when I do, I can write. And it's wonderful being able to write, and it's quiet and it's peaceful. No one's in the house but me and the dogs. Thank you, Jesus. Period. I need a reprieve. I just need peace and quiet, and especially after 2 days, because we had to celebrate our birthdays late, and trying to reach everyone. And there were a few people left out. We are sorry I couldn't get to everything in every event, but we have rescheduled. We're going to celebrate with everyone because they've been so supportive and go from there. But that said, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to get an idea of just how powerful and how deep we delved into, I'd say, the dark operative relationship conduct and psyche in their lives, go to Spotify and listen to the electronic read. I just loaded up one today. It should be available at least by midnight. And you will see that, oh my God, she's right. This is powerful. And you will see that the nomenclature, the verbiage matches that of that world. And if you don't believe me, just watch Jack Reacher, uh, Jason Bourne, my favorites, and your James Bond, your later James Bond with Daniel Craig type movies. Um, Some of All Fears is a better Or what's her name? Oh, I can't think of. This is what brain fog just drives crazy. I can't think of her name right now. But her movie was great to inspire me, especially Mr. and Mrs. Smith. But she did another, Angelina Jolie, Salt. Elle is just a darker version of Salt to me because Salt inspired me so much to write Elle the Ball. There you have it. Spoiler alert. But I had to write it from a more realistic perspective. That's why with I talk to people in that who've been in that world because I know them up close and personal. And some of them I've dated, so I know. With that said, guys, thank you very much. I'm gonna go upstairs, relax because I've been writing since this morning, and I'm tired. I need a reprieve. But thank you for your kindness. Thank you. You know who you are. Thank you for your kindness, your motivation. Thank you for following me. Thank you for my son. After we done had these knock 'em out, drag out, ready to go to the mattresses wars, he learned something about his mom. I'm quiet for a reason. When you get crazy on me, I just let you get crazy because your ass don't know crazy like I know crazy. So I'm just sitting there to keep calm because I'm more of a Ellie extinction level event when I get angry. When I get to that, when I cross the Rubicon, so I know to just lose side. It's not worth it. And sometimes I had to learn the hard way, especially with my son, that because we've placed too many, because he's my only son, we placed too many expectations upon him that we shouldn't have. No, we knew better, but we knew better, we didn't do better. Me most especially because I believe everyone says that my oldest daughter and I are two of a kind. My son and I are two of a kind. We'll be like F you in a heartbeat. you know, picture us as the Bratva meeting the La Costa Nostra. He's La Costa Nostra. I'm more Bratva. I'm coming at you. I'm coming in hot. Okay, but that's just how we are. But we're learning. We had to have a conversation. We had to come to Jesus. Because he's brutally honest. I don't like that. Be honest, but do it with respect. But sometimes we have to be cognitive and step back and stop. I have to stop operating from a point of bitterness and anger and holding on to old wounds. He doesn't need a mom with old wounds. He needs a mom to heal his wounds. And part of that is understanding things I don't want to understand. I don't want to accept. Which is really not for me to accept, but to understand. And that is hard. And even through all of these conflicts and everything, he still motivates me to write. And but you're right, Mama. You worried about them haters, don't let them haters stop you. I'm like, I'm not worried. Where did you get that from? I know you, Mama. You gotta do something with your temper and your patience. Just run out of patience. Is this the skillet calling the kettle black or what? Who had whom? Is what I'm asking. And he has wisdom beyond his years. Because my son's 40. Old. I'm old. Old. I know I'm almost wrinkle free. But that said, black don't crack. Yes, it does. Having worked in the beauty and fashion industry for nearly 18 years, it crack. It crack all day long. It just doesn't crack as fast. And you'd be surprised at natural ingredients that work on the skin, especially milk and oatmeal. Um, Milk and oatmeal will preserve your old lady skin. But my doctor taught me, Dr. Matthews, I thought that'd be my primary care doctor. I thought he and I would never gel. Now, if he were to leave me, I would have to follow him to the ends of the earth because your ass ain't leaving me, doctor. Took us too long to get on the same sheet of music. But he taught me something. I was in his office one day. I digress all over the place, so don't worry about it. He said, "Congratulations." I'm like, "Congratulations? Well, I'm in pain. Why do you congratulate me for?" He said, "You passed menopause." I'm like, "What? I didn't have nothing at menopause." He was like, "I know exactly." I'm like, "How is that?" And we started talking about my diet and foods. He's like, "Do you drink a lot of red wine?" I plead the fifth on that by the bottle, a 1 bottle a week. But which is no, the gallon bottle. But that's sad. I said, other than that, my sushi. I said I'm guilty of fish. I love sushi, fish, and lobster, things of that, crab, and stuff like that. I said, but I eat more sushi than a little bit. He said, oh, edamame. I'm like, I have edamame in my freezer. It was edamame. It's why I had no. I'm like, what? Sushi and edamame was the reason. I don't. Can that help with this pain? Will that take away this fibro? Because me and fibro are just not good friends. He was like, unfortunately, no. But continue to eat the cherries and the pineapple, like you told me, and do what your mother told you to do. And it was just crazy that way. Filming. Sorry. But that said, um, it was unbelievable. But yeah, once my mother, it was my mother. I called her on the phone because the VA wanted me to go to the ER. I was in so much pain, My feet went from this to this. They were just swollen that bad. And she said, "Eat a pound of cherries." Cherry. I don't normally eat that much in cherries. Watermelon, and then take as hot as you can bear it, hot water, vinegar, apple cider vinegar with not Epsom salt, baking soda, but it had to be Arm& Hammer, not the generic. I poured all that mess into the tub. I'd say 6 or 7 hours later, I was here. Swelling, pain, almost gone. Dang. And I didn't have to take all those crazy meds because I hate meds. Because meds, I know I need them. It took me a long time to come to terms with that. I don't like taking a lot of meds because I feel I only trust what I can control. If I can't control it, I don't really trust it fully. And when you're on meds, you're not yourself. Those type of pain. I'm on enough meds. I could bring peace to the Gaza Strip. Okay, between the Arab Emirates, Iran, Israel, and the Palestinians. And then if you want to travel even further to Ukraine and Russia. And that's the truth. And I've always felt funny about that. But the only reason my doctor prescribes them is because he knows I need them. And it took me a week. I mean, we fought. I'm like, If I tell you that 100 milligrams 3 times a day is too strong, maybe we should go to 50. Why are you still sending me 100 damn milligrams? Well, it's because I needed 100 milligrams to get off his case. And I was really working against him for quite some time because I just, but being by myself a lot, I almost died in his house because a doctor gave me fentanyl anesthesia, and I'm allergic to fentanyl and sulfur. Any person who's allergic to sulfur, and penicillin, that's an automatic red flag to give them anything. No penicillin, no sulfur, no fentanyl, definitely no fentanyl, no almonds or Brazil nuts. Please, no Brazil nuts. And I was the only one here at this house. It was Alexa who saved my life. I was like, Alexa, please send a message. Boom, and I got the call. I'm like, oh my God, you know, I think I think I passed out on the floor. I think I bumped my head. And we got in touch with the VA clinic. But that was when Dr. Ferguson was there. That sister there, she did not play. We are still demanding that they send her back to Georgia from Florida. They will not. She didn't over medicate you. She didn't have to over medicate us because she treated us. We didn't have to beg, plead, nothing. So it's just been crazy. But that's what I say. I'm sorry I digress. But that's where the writing comes in at. When you're going through all of that, writing is a refuge because you need it. But that said, everybody, I most likely be back on Thursday or Saturday. I'll let you guys know. I'll post in my group to let you know. But that said, it's flu season. We're in for a very cold, cold winter, everyone. Please, please get vaccinated. Get flu vaccines. This next COVID wave is going to be horrendous. We don't know. Whatever's coming is coming. I think it's already here. They're just trying to gear us up to how they'll drop that bomb on us. But, excuse me, that said, prepare and be ready. And again, thank you all for your kindness, your support, and your warm, warm words and sentiments. Have a great day. Pray for the world because it's just in disarray. And look for I'll put out a message when I'm uploading the pre-sale link and everything for Elle the Ball, and you won't be disappointed. It is a page turn for sure, for certain, and we're seeing to that. And the ending, of course, my endings and epilogues are powerful. And the epilogue will lead you into the next book, next phase of the adventure. So have a great day. Have a good afternoon. And relax. And please, can we all just get along? Bye for now. Talk to you soon.